You see and hear me? So to do a full... I don't know what happened there, but... Yeah, computer just went... Everything froze. Totally unresponsive. Just screaming at me. Said to turn it off and turn it back on. Anyway, we're back. Thank you to everybody who didn't go running away right there. Appreciate you. I've never had this computer's never done it before, so I don't know what's going on. But we're back. Anywho. And well, we were about to talk about this. Here, let me get my stream closed captioner running again, too. Here we go. Closed captions. Testing. Testing. Excellent. Let's talk about this new ceratopsian dinosaur. Here we go. And let's jump to... I think this is going to be a more complete press release.
Back in the 80s, the baseball player Mookie Wilson asked how he deals with slumps. When I'm in a slump, I comfort myself by saying if I believe in dinosaurs, then somewhere, they must be believing in me. And if they believe in me, then I can believe in me. Then I bust out.
Vince, Ari, I feel like I've heard that before somewhere. If anybody can find video of that, that would make a fantastic alert. Anyway, thank you for the 100 bits, Fitzauri. I appreciate it. I really do. Thank you, thank you. Yeah. Anywho. Orion Thallium says, what did I miss today? 2 of our 3 brand new dinosaur species. We're discussing our 3rd and final one right now. A tiny relative of the Triceratops, just published a couple days ago. International team discovers a new horned dinosaur. Carleton University's Michael Ryan is part of an international research team that has discovered a well-preserved fossil of a new horned dinosaur in Japan's Tambasasayama City, Hyogo Prefecture. Details have been published in the journal Papers in Paleontology. This new dinosaur possesses unique characteristics distinct from any known ceratopsian. Ceratopsians are a group of herbivorous dinosaurs known for their large horns and frills on their heads, the most famous being Triceratops. As a primitive ceratopsian, it lacked the large horns and frills seen in later species like Triceratops, and its diminutive body length and mass are only approximately 80 centimeters and 10 kilograms, respectively. And Miko, thank you for those 1,500 bits. Thank you, thank you. I really appreciate that. Holy cow. Thank you, Miko, for your generosity. Yeah. Additionally, the internal bone structure and growth rings, they did histo here, indicates that it was still a young, growing individual when it died. It's super cool that they did that. They actually did histo. That's, exciting. This new dinosaur has been named Sasayama nomus. Sasayama nomus Saogusai. With the genus name meaning a small humanoid spirit guarding treasures hidden under the ground of Sasayama. I guess that's gnome. Nomus. And the species name honoring the late Haruo Segusa. Okay, okay. I wonder if they know about something that's not been published yet. Or if... Alright, my lips are sealed. Anyway. The fossil includes 17 bones, most of which belong to a single individual. Most of which? That means they have multiple individuals here? Cool. Thin sections of the tibia were examined, revealing that Sasayamanomus was likely a young, not fully mature individual. Sasayamanomus is closely related to primitive ceratopsians from North America, like Leptoceratopsids, perhaps? Suggesting that ceratopsians, which originated in Asia, may have immigrated to North America around 110 million years ago during the mid-Cretaceous period. During this period, the eastern part of the Eurasian continent and North America were connected by the Bering Land Bridge. So let me show you what we mean by that. Yeah. Let's go to 105 million years ago. There we go. So, North America over here at the time, during the Middle Cretaceous, was connected to Asia via a land bridge. And so it's really interesting. During the Cretaceous, you've got certain dinosaurs that show up in different areas, and then they're able to migrate across the globe over various land bridges. But then sometimes you get separations that occur when sea levels rise. So North America gets cut in two around 90 million years ago. Probably a little bit earlier, actually, with the intrusion of the Western Interior Seaway here. Sea levels rise, and suddenly what used to be a conjoined continent, now it's two subcontinents there, separated by a shallow sea. But then you've still got this land bridge in between, 90 million years ago, and by 66 million, it seems to have probably been severed? Anyway, Earth's continents are not static. They constantly move. Earth is always changing. Sea levels rising and falling, climate fluctuating, land bridges forming or disappearing beneath the waves. Everything moving around. This, of course, happens very, very slowly. That's why when we see changes happening today that are observable within a human lifespan, that could be really scary. But anyway, the history of life is a history of change. The history of the Earth is a history of change. All the time. Anyhow. Yeah, during this period, the eastern part of the Eurasian continent and North America were connected by the Bering Land Bridge, allowing animals to migrate between North America and Asia. Additionally, extreme global warming resulted in vast forests in the Arctic region. The convergence of these two events likely facilitated the expansion of ceratopsians from Asia into North America. So here's the paper right here. It is, unfortunately,
access denied.
Paywalled. So we won't be able to read it. I've not heard from the authors. I emailed two of the authors, Michael Ryan and Tomonori Tanaka, saying, pretty please, can we have a file? You send a PDF? But no response yet. We can at least read the abstracts. Before they do that, let me double check right now just to make sure they haven't gotten back to me in the last few minutes. No. Anyway, the abstract is like a short summary of the paper. The herbivorous dinosaur clade Ceratopsia, these are the horned dinosaurs, flourished in the northern hemisphere during the late Jurassic to late Cretaceous. Previous paleobiogeographic studies have suggested that their initial diversification occurred in Asia. So Asia is where they really originated and diversified. That's the conventional wisdom. With early branching Neoceratopsians, so some of the more advanced members of the group, extending their geographical range to North America sometime during the Barremian to Albian. However, the specific timing and mode of their dispersal from Asia to North America remains unknown. Here we describe a new early branching Neoceratopsian, Sasayamanomus segusai, new genus, new species, from the Albian Oyamashimo Formation in southwestern Japan, representing the easternmost fossil record of ceratopsians in Asia. Sasayamanomus exhibits 3 diagnostic features in the jugal. That's like the cheek horn thing coming down, the jugal. In the squamosal and the coracoid. Squamosal is one of the bones in the back of the skull. Coracoid is one of the bones, appendicular skeleton. It's part of like the shoulder girdle. Also has a unique combination of characters in the lacrimal. Lacrimal is the bone behind the eye. Or in front of the eye, sorry. Our phylogenetic analysis indicates that Sasayamanomus forms a clade with Aquilops, one of the earliest Neoceratopsians from North America. That might be one of the ones that Jack named, actually. Followed by sister taxon Auroroceratops from China. The present time-calibrated phylogenetic tree indicates the immigration of Neoceratopsians from Asia to North America occurred during the latest Aptian or early Albian. Nope. There we go. So, looking at our time chart here. Looking at the Cretaceous period. Latest Aptian or early Albian. So about 112 million years ago, give or take. Right here. That's when these critters moved from Asia to North America, it seems. Refining the previously suggested time frame. So, I guess our assumptions about when these critters moved over here has been challenged by these new fossils. This aligns with fragmentary Neoceratopsian material from the lower Cretaceous of North America and the initial formation of the Bering Land Bridge. Furthermore, the simultaneous occurrence of global warming, which enabled the development of extensive forests in the Arctic region, and the emergence of the Bering Land Bridge during the Aptian-Albian probably played a crucial role in facilitating the immigration of Neoceratopsians from Asia to North America. So, when you've got... Let's go back to 105 million years ago. When Earth is super, super warm, sea levels are really high, and you've got these forests across this area, instead of ice and snow, that would have allowed these animals to move from Asia across the land bridge and then down into North America, where they would later evolve into such critters as Zuniceratops from New Mexico. Lovely Zuniceratops there. And then later, big ceratopsian dinosaurs. Like Anchiceratops. And like Pentaceratops, and Centrosaurus, and Pachyrhinosaurus, and Triceratops. We saw the same Anchiceratops skull in Dinoland on Wednesday, by the way. Anywho. Cool stuff. Yeah. And Dino Rancher says, "Hi, how are you doing? This is very interesting. I'm glad you think it's interesting." Yeah, it definitely is. It's cool. Every time that we find a new dinosaur, it has the potential to answer questions that we had before. It's just another piece in the puzzle, you know? For understanding these animals. How they lived, you know, how they evolved, how they dispersed throughout the world, over changing continents. It's cool stuff. It's really cool stuff. Anyway, here's a link to the press release here. This press piece in phys.org. And, yeah, Sasayamanomus. Let's find the Wikipedia article, because I guarantee you there already is one. Despite this dinosaur having just been described, there's already a Wikipedia article and already a piece of original art that somebody produced to portray this critter. Take a look at that. Lovely. Much of this is going to be taken from Aquilops, I think. Because we don't have that much material from this animal. 17 assorted cranial bones, the right coracoid and left tibia. So we've got part of the skull, like maybe a quarter of the skull. And then the bones from the shoulder girdle and a left shin bone. But those are very similar to this dinosaur here, Aquilops. And so we can kind of use this critter to fill in some of the blanks, if that makes sense. Yeah, there's a skull of Aquilops there. Not a big critter. There it is compared to a mouse, in terms of size. So we can kind of use this critter to fill in the blanks. So we've got, I guess, more or less complete skull of this animal. A little bit less than complete. Yeah. Very cool. Baby then, yes? I'm not sure, Claire Burr. I don't know if Aquilops has been histosampled. Yeah. Given that it's only known from a skull, I think? There we go. There's some of the material right there. No, it's upside down, but you see the teeth. There's the front of the snout, eye socket, big post-orbital fenestra right there. Maybe temporal fenestra? It'd be nice to 3D print this. I bet you that's available if it's here on Twitter or no, Wikipedia. Yeah. No, I wasn't thinking. Shoot, who was I thinking of? Who's the two medicine Leptoceratopsid? It's not Aquilops, it's a different guy. That's the one I was thinking of that was associated with Museum of the Rockies and Jack Horner. Anyway, this paper is open access. There we go. There's that skull right there. Lovely. And it'd be wonderful to be able to print this. I wonder if those files are available anywhere. Let's look at data availability. Supporting information. There's, I guess, a reconstruction. Matt Wadle, who helped run the Sauropod Vertebra Picture of the Week blog. He's one of the authors on this. Download the 3D models of the holotype skull that we published as supplementary info with the paper and rock out. Very cool. Pretty neat. Pretty neat. And oh, this is awesome. Oh, I would love to print this. They say that it's available, supplementary materials, character matrix, biogeographic analysis, surface scan, hoo. I think that's what we want. Nice. This might be in a file format that I can't immediately open, but I bet you I can, yeah. I bet you I can change the format. Let's see. No, it's an STL. Well. Take a look at that. Oh boy. I will be able to print this. Spectacular. There it is right there. Well, I know what I'm going to be printing once I get the printer up and running again. Lovely. Aquilops. Yeah. Would you mind tossing the link in chat for us? You bet, Claire. Yeah. Here. There it is right there, the Journal PLOS One. There you are. You gotta scroll down a little bit, and Yeah, surface scan of elements of the lower jaw are there too, so I'll grab that so I can print the upper and lower jaw. Here we go. Downloads. 008.
Hello. The creature we will be examining is a paleontologist.
And blarg. Well, well, well. Hello, and welcome to Paleontologizing. How are you doing? It's good to have you here. Thanks for joining us. How was your stream, Blah? I hope it was really good. I've seen you, I don't know how many times, in Ios's channel, and now you're here. Welcome to Paleontologizing. The stream was good. How was Florida? It was great. It was wonderful, actually. Here, I'll show you part of the VOD.
And there's the sign.
Dino Land, USA.
Nestled among all these, I guess. This is, again, your average visitor who's coming through isn't going to know what a cycad is.
Oh, cycads.
You know, you could just put a bunch of palms in here, and a lot of people would be none the wiser, but...
Anyway, do our Brachiosaurus skeleton there.
And it makes a kind of a...
I didn't get any T-Rex grabbers from the gift shop, no. Well, we did look at some. They had Ceratosaurus ones, I think. And thank you, Miko, for gifting Blarg. I really appreciate that. Yeah.
I love this detail as well. The Olden Gate Bridge.
Thank you, Miko.
This fossil gateway is composed of the giant bones of a Brachiosaurus. It's Brachiosaurus altithorax, the original North American Brachiosaurus. None of this Giraffe-Titan stuff.
Yeah.
Brachiosaurus here. One of the largest creatures that ever walked the earth. Stands 52 feet
and
tall.
Deathsaurus, you sent that picture to Tom Holtz?
Maybe this one is.
That's funny.
You know, there's the right hindfoot right there. It's significantly elevated off the ground. So that one, it probably is 52 feet off the ground.
Do you have a link to that, Deathsaurus?
Animal itself,
I'd love to see it.
More than 80 feet long. Okay.
You know what,
Peaceful plant eater, the Brachiosaurus' enormous neck allowed it to browse into the upper branches.
I can probably just find that. Here we go. Tom Holtz on Twitter. We'll look at replies. Maybe it wasn't on Twitter, though. I don't know. Yeah, this is from a few days ago. Yeah, Anywho. Back to our new dinosaur, Sasayamanomus. This is from Michael Ryan. Our new basal ceratopsian from Japan was published today, thanks to my co-authors Tomonori Tanaka, Kentaro Chiba, and Tadahiro Ikeda for inviting me to work with them. And, yeah, this person's already come up with, like, a little info card for it. That's lovely. But unfortunately, he didn't provide, like, a download link or anything. Sometimes researchers will do that. If they've published in a journal that is paywalled, sometimes they'll have a little, you know, they'll download the PDF themselves, and then they'll make it available for free on their personal website or something. Yeah, we don't have that here, but, you know, would have been cool. Yeah. Anyway, pretty neat. We've already got a Wikipedia article about it, because of course we do. Dinosaur Wikipedia is the single most up-to-date, comprehensive, easily accessible source of good dinosaur information anywhere on the internet. Wikipedia might be a little bit iffy for other subjects, but when it comes to dinosaur science, it is absolutely top-notch. Wikipedia is superb. Yeah. And preprints. Yeah, there you go, Helena Handbasket. Yeah. Hey, welcome to Paleontologizing. Good to have you here. Anywho. Yeah. And Casey Snowart says, I would love a great visual encyclopedia of all known, or at least most known, dinosaurs up to this point. I know there's Wikipedia, but man, is it fun to look at artist interpretations of these fossils and hold them in your hands, especially when the art is well-informed. Yeah. The thing is, though, we've got something like 1,000 different dinosaurs at this point, most of which are probably valid. So it would be a tremendous amount of work, and the thing is, it would be immediately out of date as soon as it gets printed, you know? So I don't know if anybody will ever really produce a book like that again. Again, just this week, we've had 3 new dinosaurs published. We've had 38 so far this year. So I don't know. Yeah. But yeah. And Deathsaurus says, I heard years ago that the sauropodomorph section of Wikipedia was looked over by Heinrich Mallison. Yeah. I don't know if that's still true. It's funny because there's a little bit of I think on Wikipedia it's frowned upon to edit articles that mention you or your own work. But I do know for a fact that there were some dinosaur workers who would edit the Wikipedia articles about their own dinosaurs, the ones that they'd published on. And if that still happens, that might be part of why Dinosaur Wikipedia is such a wonderful resource. When I say Dinosaur Wikipedia, too, I'm not talking about, you know, a different website. I'm talking about Wikipedia. The articles regarding dinosaurs on Wikipedia are stellar, top-notch. They are excellent. And you see that here. Like, a lot of these are featured articles. They've got that star showing that they're very well researched, well written. They're just excellent first sources of information. And the best thing about, you know, Wikipedia, when it comes to dinosaurs, is this, the references. Like, they link you back to the original scientific literature. So sure, the article provides a nice summary of things, but what you actually want is the original sources, the actual scientific papers, the raw stuff, you know? And often the easiest place to find that is through Wikipedia. You just scroll down to the references here on any given article, and there it is. There's the science laid out before you. It's wonderful. And IDDB, the Internet Dinosaur Database. Yeah, HD. That's funny. But yeah. And Casey Snowart says, I think it takes people who are passionate about niche topics, though, to curate Wikipedia the way they do. Yeah. Yeah. And there you go, Casey Snowart. Yeah. Yeah. I know there's a general, it's generally forbidden to put original research on Wikipedia. You have to actually go back to an original source elsewhere. Yeah. Wikipedia, no original research. Wikipedia articles must not contain original research. On Wikipedia, original research means material such as facts, allegations, and ideas for which no reliable published sources exist. Yeah. So, yeah, here we go. Outside Wikipedia, original research is a key part of scholarly work. However, Wikipedia editors must base their contributions on reliable published sources, not their own original research. But in some cases, the original researchers are the ones publishing in scientific journals, and then sometimes they turn around and update Wikipedia with that information too. A lot of Wikipedia editors are not, you know, they're more or less anonymous. They don't go by their real names. But sometimes you can kind of figure it out. Like, I know a few dinosaur paleontologists who have definitely tinkered around with Wikipedia articles about their own critters. And it's not for anything nefarious. It's just like, you know, that's the person that knows this subject best. But here's the thing. If you've done a good job of writing those scientific papers and getting them published, and you've written them in such a way that other people can understand them, anybody can kind of become an expert on it to the point where they can at least write the Wikipedia article, you know? So it doesn't necessarily require a PhD to write these things. The key thing is, like, you should be referencing the original literature. And sometimes we as paleontologists cut out the middleman and we just write the Wikipedia article ourselves, you know? But I don't think that's super common anymore. There are so many other people on Wikipedia who are so passionate about dinosaurs that, you know, there's usually an article written about a new dinosaur, like, Sasiamanomus. Nope, hang on. That's not what I'm looking for. There we go. There's an article, like, already written the day of the publication, usually. Yeah. Anyhow. Yeah. And there you go, Charlie's Dragon. Exactly. If it's published research, update Wikipedia with your own research and link to the published work. But don't put things on Wikipedia that isn't published yet. Yeah. There was an issue a while ago. I don't know if it is still much of an issue. I find this fascinating. With, like, celebrity obituaries. Where people could kind of, like, launder false information through Wikipedia. The idea is like this. Say, a celebrity passes away. You know? Let's say Kim Kardashian slips on a banana peel and falls into a crocodile enclosure. She gets eaten by crocodiles. Sometimes mischievous people will go and, like, as soon as they hear this news, maybe it just happened. It hasn't even, like, made the news yet. It's still kind of rumors or whatever. It's like maybe just a few hours after it happened. They'll go and they'll edit Wikipedia. And they'll put little things in there, like, oh, Kim Kardashian, she actually had 6 fingers on her left hand, and she was afraid of opossums. They'll, like, sneak that into the Wikipedia article, and then when journalists, often lazy journalists, are going to write an article about Kim Kardashian being eaten by crocodiles, they want to get this out there as soon as possible, so they'll just take whatever's on Wikipedia. And usually, that false information isn't on there for very long. Usually it gets edited out very, very quickly. But if that journalist happens to be looking at that Wikipedia page at just that right moment, before it, you know, they don't refresh or anything, and it's just those few moments when that false information is in there, then that false information might make it into that journalist's publication. So when they're publishing in the New York Post or whatever, you know, it'll say, oh yeah, Kim Kardashian had 6 fingers on her left hand and she was afraid of opossums. And then that information makes it back into Wikipedia because they'll cite that article. I don't know how common that is, but apparently it was an issue for a while. I think a lot of these issues have been kind of sorted out to the extent that it's more difficult nowadays for any rando to go in and tinker around with a typical Wikipedia page. And that's why, for people who are currently in the news, political figures, celebrities, stuff like that, oftentimes their accounts will be locked. So when you go to the dinosaur article, you'll see over here, the page is locked. It's semi-protected. So you need to be like an established Wikipedia editor with a good track record of making good edits in order to be able to edit this page. So yeah. Anyway. Yeah. And then someone can refer back to the news article. Yes, exactly, Charlie's Dragon. It has happened in the past. But honestly, this is not just a problem with Wikipedia. This is a problem with writing in general. You know? It's definitely something to watch out for. You see this with a lot of, like, fringe stuff, whether it's ghosts or UFOs or big feats or whatever. You know, you have some imaginative person who, like, writes a science fiction short story or a pulp novel or something like that in, like, the 50s, and then it gets taken as fact in some sort of, like, weird story, like, weird true stories book, and then it gets cited again and again and again, like a game of telephone, and it just becomes an established thing in popular culture and in the mythologies of these different, you know, fascinations that people have, whether it's Sasquatches or UFOs or whatever, ghost stories. And these things just kind of continue on through the ages because some fiction author wrote a story about it back in the 50s, and then it just becomes embedded in pop culture and everybody thinks that it's true. It's interesting how these myths start, propagate, how they become so entrenched in like in public knowledge like that, you know? So anyway, and the speed at which urban myths can travel now is extreme. It is, Casey Snowart, yeah. We need researchers who study misinformation. I agree, Rictactylus. And they should be fully employed and well paid with excellent benefits. We need people like you, Rictactylus, absolutely. Yeah, it's important. It's so important to be able to understand, you know, what is real and what is not. This is in some ways the role of the scientist or the philosopher or the scholar in general, you know? Especially nowadays, there's so much misinformation. So many people want to take you for a ride. They want to scam you. They want to take your money. They want you to believe things that aren't true in order to help a certain politician or get a Ponzi scheme off the ground or something like that, you know? It's never been more important than it is today that people have good information and that people have the tools necessary for determining what's true and what's not. Science is the best method that I know of figuring out what's true and what's not. The idea of not just taking ideas and accepting them based on authority, not just based on trust, not just based on tribal allegiances, but taking ideas and testing them, trying to figure out if they're actually true by systematic testing. There are a lot of people who are hostile toward this idea because there's some nonsense they want to sell you. Anyway, I feel incredibly lucky that I've been able to be here on Twitch and help contribute in some small way to the promulgation of good information and the dispelling of myths, mistruths, bad assumptions, stuff like that. And I want to thank everybody who has helped me in this through financial support, through following, through viewership, watching ads, all that stuff. You make this possible. And I want to thank you for that. It has been such a tremendous privilege to be able to stream science on here practically every weekday, sometimes more when I'm in the field. And I'm deeply, deeply grateful for the opportunity. So thank you for that, everybody. Thank you most sincerely. Casey Snowart, thank you. Casey says, we are so happy to have you here, being a calm voice of reason in a sea of impressionable confusion. Thank you for being here. Thank you, Casey, for your support and your enthusiasm and your moderation work, too. Moderators, thank you for helping make this possible also. Anyway, with that having been said, I gotta wrap up this broadcast. We're gonna go do a raid in just a minute here. But let's take a look at our schedule real quick. Next week, We'll be doing some streams from different zoos. More IRL streams next week, basically. I'm going to do as many as I can. I might have some local fieldwork going on Wednesday, so we might not stream then. Or maybe we will, I don't know. But we've got exciting stuff coming up. And I hope you'll tune in for it. Let's see who else is live on Twitch right now, and we'll do a quick raid here. Let's go raid into Science Streams, shall we? There we go. Excellent. We're gonna go see what Balint is up to. New species, new way mosquitoes chase us, zombie flies, microplastics, and more. Let's go see what Balint is up to over at Science Streams. Fellow scientist, fellow researcher, fellow communicator of good information, as good as we can make it. Anyway, thank you, everybody. Oh, where'd our credits go? There we go. Anywho, I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. And a very special thank you to everybody whose names are going to show up in our credits right now. Oh, I forgot it's Friday. I'm all thrown off. Fridays are often the best days to watch science streams. I'm excited to tune in a bit after I have some dinner. I'm going to work on my 3D printer, get that new part installed, get it working again. But, thank you, everybody. Oh, and our credits are all messed up because we had that stream crash. But thank you to everybody who contributed today. Got pretty close to our sub goal. I'm ready for a good weekend. I hope you are too. I'll see you on Monday for some IRL streams.